I know you want me. You know I want you. I know you want me. You know I want you. I know you want me. You know I want you. I know you want me. You know I want you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
When you touch away, I'll make you hot, get on you, God, I'll make you wanna say.
Now listen.
Get up,
That's right.
stand up, clap your hands, man. I make you wanna dance, I make you wanna move. I just do Sonia, I can put you in the mood.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rachna's Fitness Show. मैं host Rachna. The show is all about getting you off the couch and getting you working out. हमारा स्टूडियो का नंबर है 408-912-5565. Again 408-912-5565. आप सुन रहे हैं रचना को Rachna's Fitness Show पे. Do come every Wednesday between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We do take your live calls, and the questions could of course be related to exercise, nutrition, weight loss, weight gain, in fact even a healthier recipe or something that I'm talking about, and maybe a latest research that you wanted to share or talk about health, nutrition, fitness, or to jump into a conversation that I'm having today, and you're definitely welcome to do that. हमारा स्टूडियो का नंबर है 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. Information about me: I'm a fitness expert. If you are looking to lose weight, if you're looking to get healthy, if this is the year that you wanted to make a change, today is February 1st, people, already. If you made, New Year plans or resolutions and they're starting to fade out already, trust me, this is the best month to go. Do not let it go until March and April, because that's when, again, you're going to start thinking about the summer break coming on. You're going to start thinking of the summer aa rahi hai, ab to India jana hai, or whatever the plans are. And then of course, when the school starts and people get busy again. But this is the next, I would say just about the best time that you still can't say summer is here. We still can't say the kids are going to be home from school. We still can't say we have the summer vacations planned. You still have plenty of time. So for whatever reason, if you think, your new resolutions are kind of maybe not all the way that you want it to be up on at par, so this is the best time to get back on the bandwagon and get started. And again, if you're interested in a complete weight loss program, we do have complete weight loss program. All I can say, if it have started already in January, would have lost weight already by now, but if not, we still have time. You're definitely welcome to give me a call. I'll be doing whatever that it takes to make sure that you are a nice and a fit person in 2017. And that's the reason I have my website called fitin2017.com. If you are looking to get fit in this year, this is the new year, this is the year for you. Again, go to my website, fitin2017, fitin2017.com, or you can always visit my basic main website, Rachna Radio, RACHNA, rachnaradio.com. हमारा जो center का नाम है Rachna's Wellness Center. Again, we've been doing fitness, all these different programs, running programs since about, more than 10, 11 years now. Actually even longer now. And I've been actually doing these radio shows for more than 7.5 years now. So, of course, experience does count. And I've, met and worked with so many different people with all different conditions. Let's say you don't have a condition, you just fit, you want to lose weight. Or you have a condition and you're just thinking, no, it's not going to work out for me just because I just can't do it because I, injured my knee, or I injured my ankle, I injured my back. All I can say without being rude, don't find excuses. Don't just bring excuses between you and your health, because you know yourself somewhere within you कि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Of course, there are special cases, but most of the people, ऐसी भी कोई injury नहीं है that you just cannot absolutely do anything. No workout, absolutely. Of course, there are modifications involved. So please get up. Get fit. All I can say is get fit. This is the year. So again, if you're interested in a complete weight loss program at my center, I will be a coach all throughout the program, whatever it takes. And I would definitely emphasize that again, whatever it takes. If it requires me to talk to you or motivate you every single day, or if it requires me to work with you on one, so whatever it takes. So we do have complete weight loss programs, but I kind of structure these programs accordingly based on person to person. I start with checking your weight, taking a bunch of measurements, and then keeping a track of everything on a weekly basis, or sometimes even sooner, to see आपका weight कितना कम हो रहा है, आपके inches कितने कम हो रहे हैं, आपकी health कैसी better हो रही है, आपकी fitness के levels क्या हो रहे हैं, and whatnot. And then from there on, I keep a track of everything on a weekly basis, and the process involves a good, a good program, which means we follow complete desi healthy nutrition meal plans, and then we also follow complete exercise programs, exercise sessions. Now again to mention, हमारे exercise programs can also be done remotely, or of course on site. On site, of course, my facility is located in Sunnyvale on El Camino Real, called Rachna's Wellness. And but again, if you cannot physically come down, a lot of my clients do not live local, so that means you can actually do all of my programs from wherever you are, and that could be a different country or a different state or just a different city. So wherever that you live, if you're interested in a program, if you want to just come and talk to me, or just talk to me over the phone to see what is that we offer, what is something that you could benefit from, you're definitely welcome to give me a call. We'll just talk over the phone or sit down and chat and see exactly what you're looking to achieve and take it from there. The phone number to get in touch with me is 408-320-8111, 408-320-8111. You can also visit my website, Rachna Radio, RACHNA, rachnaradio.com, or again, my another website, fitin2017.com, or just go and Google, find Rachna's Wellness Center, and it should come up. Okay, so that's that. Studio number abhi call karne ke liye 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. Okay, couple of things I wanted to start about today is I'm going to make, and that's what I'm plan to do is maybe introduce you to maybe good 2 or 3 or 4 changes that you can make every month. Okay, so adopt whatever you possibly can. So the first thing I actually wanted to talk about is I definitely wanted to talk about a little bit more 2017 and, your motivation and whatnot, which I'll get to later. But before that, I wanted to just kind of keep the topic a little bit more light and talk about shortening, vegetable shortening. In fact, that kind of struck me. I was hearing one of these shows on TV, and it really, I'm like, maybe I should definitely go in quite a bit of detail and talk about this on my radio show. But vegetable shortening, the reason it's actually, there's a different scientific reason, but it's called, the reason you could call it vegetable shortening, but actually shortens your life. That is how bad it is. Vegetable shortening can actually shorten your life, and that's how bad it is. So let's go and talk a little bit about vegetable shortening. Is it healthy or not? What is vegetable shortening? Okay, and ये बहुत ही common नाम है जब आप कोई भी बाजार से सामान लेते हो, chips लेते हो, I don't know, बहुत सारा बाजार का सामान, especially baked goods. Anything that's baked or fried, mostly is going to have something called vegetable shortening in it. And a lot of people still buy it for home purposes also. बहुत सारी companies का आता है, but there's a special one that a lot of people guys call Crisco. That's again vegetable shortening. So wanted to give you a little bit more detail about why you should not be having products having vegetable shortening in it. Okay. First of all, vegetable shortening is made through a process called hydrogenation. Okay, जिसमें वो एक liquid oil को लेके उसको solid vegetable fat में convert करते हैं through a process called hydrogenation. That means they pass hydrogen atoms to it. Okay, it's often used in baking. Vegetable shortening जो होता है, it kind of adds a flaky texture. And I'll explain you a very good reason why flaky texture आ जाता है. जब आप कोई bake करोगे सामान, उसके अंदर vegetable shortening डालोगे, तो जो output होगा baked good का, it's going to be nice and flaky. So that's the reason it's really used in pie crusts and pastry shells and all those baked, a lot of the baked items. Okay. So what happens is that the term shortening, of course, refers to any kind of fat that is solid at room temperature. जो पहले oil था जिसको हमने solid में convert किया by process called hydrogenation is something that is called shortening. Okay, and that includes margarine, even lard. Okay, shortening can either be from कोई भी oil use कर सकते हैं shortening के लिए. Mostly it's going to be some kind of a liquid oil, right? So it could be an animal fat either or a vegetable oil. Okay, mostly it's used with oils that they use for shortening is either soybean oil, which of course is all GMO in this country. Again, corn oil sometimes, but soybean oil, cottonseed, refined palm oil, and all those things. Okay, why do people use shortening? I explained you the reason. Shortening is used, of course, for a lot of specific purposes. One is that, of course, for mixing and baking. The science behind why shortening makes anything flaky or like a pastry kind of a texture to it is very simple. Right? जब भी आप कोई चीज़ को मिक्स और बेक करते हो तो उसका जो ग्लूटन होगा फ्लावर में, स्पेशली व्हीट में, जो फ्लावर में जो ग्लूटन होता है, इट स्ट्रेचेस आउट एंड काइंड ऑफ फॉर्म्स अ मैट्रिक्स. ठीक है, जब अभी आप कोई ग्लूटन को बेक कर रहे हो किसी भी फ्लावर में, केक में, पेस्ट्री शेल्स में, व्हाट नॉट, उसका जो ग्लूटन है, it actually starts to stretch out. It kind of forms like a matrix. Okay, so what gluten does, or I'm sorry, what shortening is going to do, but the fat जो आपने उसके मिक्स किया था उसके बीच में बेक करते हो, which is shortening, it coats the gluten strands, preventing them from lengthening and kind of forming more of a smaller matrix. And that's where the name actually shortening comes from. It shortens the gluten and creates a tender, short, crumbly, flaky product. So if you're baking something, we have a couple of callers. I'll get to just a second. Please keep holding. But if so, again, just to kind of complete what I'm saying here is, what happens is that जब gluten को stretch out हो जाता है, so if you don't add shortening in it, the output of the product is not going to be flaky just because the gluten is too much stretched out. जब आप baking के time पे कोई भी shortening डाल देते हो तो जो shortening क्या करती है, like I said, the word shortening, that's where exactly the name shortening comes from. It actually shortens the strand of the glucose, the gluten, to make it more of a short, crumbly, and a flaky product. Okay. Again, a lot of fat would do that, but the reason to do shortening, I'll get to that in just a second. Why would you use shortening when you could just use regular fat or butter for that? We'll get to that in just a second. Let's take a call from, I guess, Mira from Santa Clara. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I just was listening and you're talking about vegetable shortening, and you did mention a product called, at least a brand called Cisco. So I send my kids a lot of, snacks because they have a long day. It's not just one snack. I do send carrots and blueberries and all that, but usually there is also a packaged snack in it, which usually might be the brand that you mentioned. Now, my concern is, like, if that is, you consider it very unhealthy, we're giving it to our children. Most of my friends do it too. So we're giving it to our children on a daily basis. So what are the packaged, because apart from the healthy snacks, what are the packaged goods can we send the children? Give me some options, please.
Okay. Good question. I think that's always a problem that with a lot of the moms is, what to give our kids for the snack, and something that's healthy or something that tastes good, because yes, kids want to take something that's not always fruits and carrots. At the same time, one, of course, you want to make sure that you are looking at the label. There are some brands coming outside that would make shortening with either coconut oil, or they just use coconut oil, or they would just rather use regular pure butter. So yes, there are, and I was getting to get to that in a second. There are coming with a lot of other brands, not a lot, but some other brands that are coming out that do not use shortening, and they're just made with butter, and that's perfectly fine. So butter is okay as long as the product, and I personally get a lot of products that do not say vegetable shortening on the back, but if you wouldn't look at it, of course it's very easy to pick up something that has vegetable shortening. But I would say, just not remembering the top of the head the name of the brands, but yes, there are a lot of brands that you could go. Let's say, I'm just going to pick an idea. Let's say you're looking for goldfish or cheddar bunnies. There's a company called Annie's that I would personally prefer, and they do not use vegetable shortening. And they have all kind of different snacks, goldfish, and all Cheetos. They pretty much have a lot of different snacks available. So in fact, I do have a box in front of me right now, and I can read out the ingredients of that. It says organic wheat flour. It says expeller pressed sunflower oil, salt, cheddar cheese, and that's pretty much it. Vitamin E and paprika and cultured whole milk. In non-fat milk. So that's pretty much the ingredients of what I'm looking at. So that company, Annie's, again, it's a local company, and I've bought products from them for a long time, and they do have a lot of different snacks. Anything that kids could take, they come in small packets or bag packets for whatever, and you should be able to find them in all the local stores.
All right, thank you, Rachna. We do use Annie's as well. Thank you, but good to know about other brands. Thanks again for sharing.
Amy's is another company, AMY. Amy's is another company that has a lot of products that are very healthy. And that's something that I would definitely consider. But I would say the basic is that look on the back, and they cannot lie on the ingredients. So just look on the back. If something does not say vegetable shortening, and it doesn't say, again, they hide it in names. You want to make sure they don't say hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils or trans fat or vegetable shortening. As long as it's saying butter or coconut oil, or expeller pressed some kind of coconut oil or avocado oil, that's perfectly fine.
All righty. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Okay, so again, studio number, let me get back the number again. If you have a question, आप call कर सकते हैं. हमारा भी studio का number है 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. आप सुन रहे हैं रचना को, Rachna's Fitness Show पे. I do come every Wednesday, 12 to 1. We do take your live calls. We talk about health, nutrition, fitness, whatever it takes, step by step, to make us all as a family healthy, to make us all the complete family healthy. We're not just talking about losing weight. We're not just talking about absolutely doing something crazy. It's all about taking good steps and being a healthy person. And trust me, the weight will come off. If you're doing things right, the weight will come off. And a lot of a lot of people always complain कि weight नहीं कम होता, because trust me, there's something that's wrong here in the equation. या तो आपका sleeping ठीक नहीं है, या तो आपके vitamins ठीक नहीं है, आपकी body deficient है किसी चीज में, या आपकी body को ठीक nutrients नहीं मिल रहे हैं या absorb नहीं कर रहे हैं nutrients. That's another case that happens with a lot of people. Even if you keep eating, the body is not absorbing, which could be lack of another nutrient. Like for example, अगर आपकी body में क्या कहते हैं मैग्नीशियम की कमी होगी तो बहुत सारे अदर न्यूट्रिएंट्स आपकी बॉडी एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करेगी. दैट हैपेंस. सो अगेन इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन. सो आई वुड बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू हेल्प यू. अगेन हमारे जो प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं द कंप्लीट वेट लॉस प्रोग्राम्स वेयर आई वुड सिट डाउन विद यू, सी एग्जैक्टली व्हाट योर गोल्स आर and then make sure that you reach those goals. Me and you together, make sure that we reach those goals, whatever it takes. Work on complete desi nutrition plans, exercise programs, exercise sessions, so complete weight loss programs. आप हमें call कर सकते हैं information के लिए to come and talk to me, get registered. Phone number is 408-320-8111. If you want to just come and talk and see what kind of programs we have, what are your goals? Of course, we'll take it from there. Phone number again to get in touch with me is 408-320-8111. You can also get all the contact information from our website, Rachna Radio, Rachna, rachnaradio.com, or you can just Google and find Rachna's Wellness Center. Okay. Again, wanted to mention we also have our own brand of vitamins and protein powders and vitamin D, multivitamins, Trifla, little capsules. So again, ये सारी हमारी Rachna's Wellness brand की available. आप उनको हमारी website से भी ले सकते हैं. We of course can ship them worldwide wherever that you're listening to the program from. Or if you're local, you can always come and pick it up. We do have our non-GMO protein powders. All of my products are actually non-GMO formulas. So हमारे जो protein powders हैं, they come in 3 flavors of chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. We also have a very fantastic formulation of probiotics. And also, of course, the combination of vitamin D3 and K2. But again, ये सारी information आपको website पे मिलेगी. Or you can always call me and ask me about the product and see what suits you. Again, the number to get in touch with me is 408-320-8111. Okay, so let's go and talk about shortening. Okay, so we're talking about, I kind of explained it to you कि क्यों उसको shortening कहा जाता है. I also explained that कि क्यों add करते हैं. Now, let's go explain कि why not just add butter? Why would they add shortening? Okay, first of all, shortening is higher in fat. Shortening is 100% fat versus butter is only 80% fat. So calories भी ज़्यादा होती हैं shortening में, but फिर भी add करते हैं. Now wonder why? Okay, it's used of frying also a lot of the times. One of the reasons it's used for, एक तो बहुत उसका high stable बहुत है, तो उसको बहुत high temperature पे fry किया जा सकता है, just because it's pure fat, it's 100% fat. So stability बहुत ज़्यादा है, उसको fridge में रखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So a lot of big companies and stores, they don't have to worry about refrigeration of the shortening. It can just stay at room temperature for a long time. Okay. So those are the couple of reasons. I'll get to that much in a second, but let me explain to you the nutritional facts of shortening. Like I said, mostly fat is 80%. अगर हम butter की बात करें, shortening is 100% fat. Okay, it's high in calories and of course doesn't contain carbs and protein either way. It also is very low in vitamins and minerals. Okay, vitamin K भी बहुत कम होता है. जो vitamin K of course is very very important. जो pure animal fat से आता है, but vitamin K is extremely lower shortening में. Okay. So again, benefits क्या है shortening के? Why would they use it? Like I was mentioning, the primary benefit of hydrogenation to create shortening is increased shelf life. Shortening can be stored for long periods of time at room temperature without turning rancid. Okay. Let me take another call. We're going to be talking to Devinder from Milpitas. Hi, Devinder. How are you? Hello. Are you there, please? Think we got Devinder, if you're listening to us, you're welcome to give us a call back. I don't think you're online anymore. 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565 ये स्टूडियो का नंबर कॉल करने के लिए. So again, let's get back to the show again. I was talking about is why would they use shortening? And the primary benefit, of course, shortening is increased shelf life. Shortening can be stored for long periods of time at room temperature without going bad. Okay, shortening made from hydrogenated oil is cheaper to produce by volume than non-hydrogenated oil, which of course reduces the cost of restaurants and consumers. Okay, there's of course a bunch of simple reasons, which of course एक तो shelf life बहुत है, price कम होती है, bulk में मिल जाता है, and like I said, refrigeration की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So all that stuff. So again, how do we make sure that we're avoiding shortening? You want to make sure that the label does not say something that's hydrogenated oil, partially hydrogenated oil, trans fats, again, or just the word vegetable shortening. So you want to make sure that all these words are missing. Now, why is it bad? To explain you, again, I'll give you a very simple way to look at it. Okay, the process of hydrogenation, जिसे shortening create होती है, changes the molecular structure to something not normally found in nature, right? Like I said, आपने ऑयल लेके जो लिक्विड था आपने उसको हाइड्रोजन एटम्स लैब में जाके उसके थ्रू प्रॉस करके हाइड्रोजनेशन प्रोसेस के थ्रू उसको एक सॉलिड फैट में बना दिया कि आप उसको रूम में रख सकते हो आराम से बट दैट वाजंट द वे द नेचर मेड द ऑयल राइट कि अगर लेट्स से सोयाबीन ऑयल था इट वाज फ्रॉम सोयाबीन्स इट वाजंट सपोज्ड टू बी solid. Okay. We have, I think, Devinder back online. Hi, Devinder. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I'd just like to ask a quick question. Is it what time do you? Supposed to take a vitamin tablet? Is it any time necessary or any time you can?
What time? Is that the question? What time you should be
Yeah.
taking vitamin tablets? Okay. Now that again depends upon a lot of the kind of vitamins. If we're talking about multivitamins, that's, probably a lot of people take multivitamins, let's say middle of the day. But it all depends on vitamins. There are two types of vitamins. Do you want to specifically tell me which one? Is it water soluble, fat soluble, or just
multiple vitamins?
Multivitamins, one thing I always suggest people is if you could possibly get a smaller dosage, divide it maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Or you can just cut, and that's the reason they cut these, get this pill, let's say you want to divide it in half. And the reason is that because, like I was saying, a lot of the vitamins that we're supposed to be taking, some are water soluble, some are fat soluble. Okay? Ab jo fat soluble vitamins hai, they're going to be better absorbed when you're taking them with some kind of fat. That means they're supposedly supposed to be taken with meal. Water soluble vitamins should be taken mostly away from the meal. So multivitamins में दोनों तरह के vitamins mix हो जाते हैं. So that one of the best reasons that I would suggest is that I would say probably either get a smaller dosage. So don't get something that says 3000 IU and just or of daily value and just take it once at a time. Maybe get a smaller dosage, take it 2 of them, divide it, one with meal, another without meal. Or if you have just a bigger dosage, then cut the pill in the half and take half now, half that. That's the best way. You want to make sure that all the vitamins are being absorbed the way they should be. Just to kind of answer that question. Because multivitamins have fat soluble and water soluble vitamins both in them. Does that answer your question?
So it's better to be taken by meal?
Yes, you can take, normally I would suggest, like I said, fat soluble agar hai, then they should be taken with meal because they are fat soluble. That means when the body has fat in it, or the blood has fat in it, तो आपके वो vitamins अच्छे absorb होते हैं. तो इसलिए अगर आप multivitamin ले रहे हो तो उसको आपको cut करके half करके एक बार without meal ले लो, एक बार with meal ले लो. That's the best way to do it.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Okay. Again, studio number 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. ये नंबर अभी कॉल करके क्वेश्चन पूछने के लिए हेल्थ से रिलेटेड, न्यूट्रिशन रिलेटेड, फिटनेस रिलेटेड, weight loss, weight gain, any topic, or just jump into something that I've been talking about. Again, studio number 408-912-5565. Okay, so again, आप सुन रहे हैं Rachna's Fitness Show पे. I know I get this told all the time that I don't give my information enough, so people who tune in between miss who am I, or at least if they want to get hold of me. So again, to get hold of me, to get registered, to come and talk to me, or just talk to me over the phone, or go check out my website. आप मेरी website पे जा सकते हैं, rachnaradio.com, RACHNA, rachnaradio.com. You can always give me a call, and then we'll take it from there to see what exactly. Again, the way I start is I kind of like to get to know you as a person. कि मुझे पता चले आपके क्या गोल्स हैं, आपका क्या स्केड्यूल है, थोड़ा आपके बारे में पता चले, so that I create a program for you जो आपके लिए बहुत आसान हो फॉलो करना आपके स्केड्यूल के अकॉर्डिंग. And that's the whole plan. The plan is that nothing has to be drastic, right? कई लोग जो होते हैं वेट लॉस प्रोग्राम इसलिए शुरू नहीं करते हैं, उनको बस अंदर से कुछ ना कुछ पता है कि कम करना है, वेट कम करना है, डॉक्टर ने कहा है, मेडिकेशन बढ़ रही है, शुगर बढ़ रही है, डायबिटीज़ हो सकती है, प्री डायबिटीज़ है, बट वो शुरू नहीं करते हैं. बस लाइफ के हम रट में लगे रहते हैं कि जस्ट बिकॉज किसके पास टाइम एक्सरसाइज करने का, किसके पास टाइम है रोज खाना बनाने का. बट अगेन इमेजिन इफ ऑल ऑफ दिस स्टफ वाज जस्ट काइंड ऑफ scheduled for you, with 20 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and that's it. And that's exactly what I definitely would like to do with every single person. That's what I do. Make sure that आपके जो रूटीन है उसके अंदर हम आपके रूटीन को जरूरी नहीं है चेंज करना. बट what happens once you start losing weight, you will change your routine to make sure that is priority. Right? And that will definitely happen. That's what I've seen for years and years and years. Once you start losing weight, once you start seeing the benefits of weight loss, you make that priority. But पहले क्या होता है कि लोग हमेशा उससे भाग रहे होते हैं कि समझ नहीं आता कैसे करेंगे. But at that time, you need a lot more help so that it becomes a priority. And of course, I'll be more than happy to help you. We do have complete weight loss programs where, of course, I focus on every single aspect to make sure that you lose weight and whatever it takes. So again, to get registered in for complete weight loss programs, which involve exercise, nutrition, desi meal plans, personalized meal plans, weekly checkups. And आप हमें contact कर सकते हैं. हमारा phone number है 408-320-8111. Again, I'm the coach for all of my programs myself. Again, the number to get in touch with me is 408-320-8111. We're going to be talking to Shefali from Fremont. Hi, Shefali. How are you?
Yeah, hi Rachna. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to check about the oil. We just shifted from India, and there are different oils here. And we checked like a blood test for my husband, and a little cholesterol is little high as compared to when we did in India. So I think it's because of the oil change, and there are so many brands here. I'm a little confused which one should I use. Right now I'm using Saffola sunflower oil for regular Indian cooking, and olive oil like virgin olive oil for salads and all. So I just wanted to check, is it I'm doing right or something wrong here?
Sure. In fact, let me put it this way. Even before you mentioned that you're using Saffola oil, I was going to ask you're using Saffola oil. Do not use Saffola oil. It's just wrong information out there. A lot of doctors are still recommending Saffola oil is, I'm sorry to say, but it's one of the worst oils, and that really, there's a very simple science behind that. The science is that Saffola oil jo hota hai, is very high in what is called omega-6 fatty acids. We do not need more omega-6. Omega-6 jo hota hai, they create inflammation in the body, and inflammation is equal to definitely high cholesterol and also high triglycerides. So that is something you want to stay away from. Now, these are the days gone. There's a whole cycle, and I think you're one of my new listeners. You probably missed hearing all my shows in the past, but what I've been, of course, talking about for the last many years is what have happened. Let's say years back, people had desi ghee, they had butter, and everything was fine. They were healthy, right? And then an era came जब लोगों को लगा कि नहीं बटर में तो बहुत फैट होता है हमें फैट कम करना है तो then people started creating margarine. And then so a lot of people, then had margarine thinking, okay, margarine is better than butter. We shouldn't be having that and all that stuff. So that was that phase. And then after that phase, when people realized that margarine में trans fats होते हैं, that's not the best thing for you. Like I was talking, shortening and everything. And then the era came, now what to do? Butter bhi nahi khana, margarine bhi nahi khana. So now let's go and talk about, let's go take, something that's liquid, that has less than saturated fat. And that's when they came up with Saffola oil. Of course, Saffola oil is less than saturated fat, but at the same time, it's very high in omega-6. And science after science after science for so many years has been telling. It's just that I don't know why doctors are still not asking, which I know a lot of doctors are already changing, but I don't know, specific people. But again, yes, Saffola oil is very high in omega-6. Omega-6 or omega-3 जो होता है हमारा इतना imbalance हो गया because of the kind of lifestyle we have. We need way more omega-3 than omega-6. बट ओमेगा-6 हमें इतना मिलता है आजकल, तो उसके कारण जो होता है हमारी बॉडी में इतनी इन्फ्लेमेशन हो जाती है, तो उसके कारण वी हैव नी पेन, कोलेस्ट्रॉल इज द नंबर वन थिंग दैट स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग. सो आई वुड डेफिनेटली, अगेन, coming back to the conversation, that question you asked, I would say definitely stop Saffola oil for sure. You want to make sure you're having either olive oil, avocado oil, even peanut oil is a little better. So no Saffola oil, no corn oil, no vegetable oils, no sunflower oil. Those are really high in omega-6 acids, and that's something that you should not be having at all. So olive oil is fine. Even a little pure butter is fine. थोड़ा सा देसी घी में बना सकते हो. Coconut oil is fine. So all these oils are way better than any of these liquid vegetable oils.
So you're saying like making sabji and ghee is better than all these oils?
Yes. Again, yes, you're going to make sure that the calories are in control. So that means ghee में, of course, calories ज़्यादा होती हैं. So you want to make sure that थोड़ा सा कम में बनाओ. But of course, ghee has its own good benefits. But yes, ghee is fine. Pure organic देसी घी जो होता है. Again, make sure, just because especially in this country, the dairy is so bad polluted with all the antibiotics they add. So make sure that अपना खुद देसी घी बनाओ organic butter से, या फिर बाहर से भी देसी घी organic मिलता है. So use one of those, and a little bit of that in cooking is, of course, going to give you flavor, and it's also going to keep your health fine.
Okay, thank you very much, Rachna. Bye.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Okay. So again, studio number 408-912-5565, 408-912-5565. आपके पास कोई क्वेश्चन है अपनी एक्सरसाइज, हेल्थ, न्यूट्रिशन, फिटनेस से रिलेटेड, आप कॉल कर सकते हैं कि हमारे स्टूडियो पे अभी. Again, 408-912-5565. Okay, listening to Rachna's Fitness Show. To get in touch with me, get registered in a complete weight loss program where I could change you as a person and where I could make you fit. And I've done that with thousands of people so far. I've been doing this for more than 11, 12 years now. I have my own center in Sunnyvale, for 11 plus years now. Started, I think, back in 2005. And a lot of people, it's more of a word of mouth referral. A lot of people just keep coming, and of course, friends and friends and friends. So again, if you are looking to lose weight, get healthy, get fit, whatever it takes, I will make sure that 2017K. I'm going to give you let me give you 4 or 5 months. I'm going to say by the middle of 2017, you will be a different person. You would have lost a lot of weight. You would feel amazing about yourself, and whatever it takes, we're going to make sure that you get fit. So again, to get registered, आप हमें call कर सकते हैं, or just to come and talk to me to see what we offer and it kind of talk to you about your goals. You're definitely welcome to give me a call, 408-320-8111. Again, 408-320-8111. You can also give information to contact me from my website, rachnaradio.com, Rachna, rachnaradio.com. Again, we have complete weight loss programs where the first process is to understand you, your goals, your measurements, your weight loss journey, your weight loss goals, your ups and downs, and then take it from there week by week. And again, सारे programs होते हैं, they're kind of start with 3-month courses, but we do have 1-month courses too. So again, let's talk and we'll take it from there. We're going to be talking to Nupur from San Jose. Hi, Nupur, how are you?
Hey, Rachna, I'm doing very well. So I was just listening to your question. The previous caller called about which cooking oil to use. What do you think about mustard oil that we get at Indian stores?
Yeah, mustard oil is definitely, I wouldn't call it as close to avocado or olive oil, but it's definitely quite a bit better oil than many other corn oil or safflower oil or vegetable oil. So it's, if I put it that way, mustard oil, yes, it is high in omega-6, but the ratio isn't that bad. For example, let me put it this way. Safflower oil has a ratio of 90%, 85 to 90% omega-6. Versus, a lot of the other MUFAs, which is the monounsaturated fatty acids, are maybe 2:1. So this ratio of 90% omega-6 is very high. Mustard oil is about 40 to 50%. So it's definitely quite a bit better than any other oils, but still not. So I wouldn't do all of my cooking in mustard oil all the time. But yes, mustard oil does taste good with a lot of other different vegetables and curries that you're making. So it's okay to use. But I would start introducing other oils too, but it's definitely better than many other oils.
Sounds good. I had another question if you have some time, Rachna.
Sure, go ahead.
So I have hypothyroidism. So, I can gain weight very fast, and then I really have to work very, very hard to lose weight. Are there, I've heard that, you should avoid certain kinds of food if you're hypothyroid. Can you shed some light on that?
Mostly they say, again, what you should avoid is that it kind of interferes more with the medication more than anything else. So when people take hypothyroid medication, you should be avoiding a lot of cruciferous vegetables, stuff which is kind of, let's say cabbage comes there in one of those lists, and spinach sometimes comes in those lists. So those are some vegetables that you should be avoiding more. But even they say cauliflower is something that so anything that comes in that kind of like broccoli, like I said, broccoli, cauliflower, all those vegetables are something that you should be avoiding if you're taking, are you taking hypothyroid medication?
Yes,
Okay.
For the past 10 years, yes.
Okay. Do you eat these vegetables? Has it made a difference?
I have never avoided these vegetables. I love these vegetables, actually. These are my favorites. But I've heard, about the same thing.
Has your medication been standard has your medication been just the same dosage for the last 10 years, or has it increased, gradually ramped up?
So during my pregnancies, I have 2 kids, so, it fluctuated. But after, it's been stable for past couple of years now, I would say.
Okay. Like I said, it doesn't really bother every person. I've heard a lot of people say, I absolutely cannot touch it. If I touch it, my medication goes all haywire and I have to go get it tested again. If it really hasn't bothered you, I won't really make it as a meal on a daily basis, but it's okay to have, and that's the reason I asked. If it hasn't, every person's body is different. Normally they say is when you take medication, you should be avoiding cruciferous vegetables, and all these come in those category. But again, if it hasn't really made a difference, I wouldn't make it a daily basis, maybe go less on that. But if it hasn't made a difference, maybe it's not you. It won't make a difference too much in your body.
Okay. And how about gluten?
I could go on and on and on and on about gluten and thyroid. Again, I've seen both. I've seen people who've done amazing without gluten, especially who have thyroid condition. And the reason is that gluten और थायराइड का जो ग्लूटेन की शेप होती है और जो थायराइड के receptors होते हैं, they have exactly the same shape. So a lot of people sometimes they develop thyroid just because they were gluten sensitive. But that's not always the case. So what I would suggest you is a lot of, and if I put it this way, I think it's more of a fad nowadays to be gluten free. A lot of people को, in fact, मैं कई लोगों से पूछती हूँ, वो कहते हैं gluten free, उनसे पूछो कि क्यों gluten free पे हो, they probably like, what is gluten? They won't even know, but it's a thing going on. It's a gluten free diet. So no, gluten has its own benefits too. So I would say the best thing for people with thyroid is give it a month and try being gluten free. See if you see any difference. See if the weight loss is getting easier for you. And if it does not, maybe that wasn't your case. But yes, there's a test that a lot of doctors should suggest, and they are suggesting nowadays. It's a basic test. You just go test yourself for gluten sensitivity and see if you're sensitive or not to gluten. It's not 100% accurate, but it at least gives you an idea. Maybe you are not. So what they do is they check antibodies against gluten in the body. So they're going to make you eat gluten, and then they're going to check antibodies कि आपकी body में antibodies बन रही हैं उसके against या नहीं. And that's how you know you're gluten sensitive or not. But like I said, it kind of goes sometimes hand in hand just because the shape of the receptors and the gluten is similar, but it doesn't happen all the time. So yes, I've had people who've tried being gluten free and they had thyroid condition and they had absolutely no benefit. And some people said, wow, it does wonders, and they don't want to have gluten anymore. So I would say the best is that before you say absolutely bye-bye to gluten, try it for 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Try as much being gluten free or not.
Yeah, I've tried it, and I have seen a humongous difference. But then again, I could not stick to it. It's a diet thing, right? Our desi food is it's very hard to stay gluten free. So
if you've tried it, then I would say, try to go as much you can, because like I said, it is, if it is, it makes a big difference. If it does not, it doesn't make any difference. But if it does, like I said, it's the same thing. What happens जब आपकी body gluten खाती है, let me put it this way, your thyroid gland has receptors, right? So it needs to understand where the hormone, जिसको T4 कहा जाता है, the T4 hormone is coming from. But again, अगर gluten sticks to your receptacles and then the body cannot see the T4 coming out, तो वो आपका TSH बढ़ाती रहती है. And that is what happens when your thyroid gluten hypothyroid, कि आपका TSH body का बढ़ जाता है. So, but that's the whole point, and that's what the medication is. So the medication that a lot of the people जो हम allopathic medication खाते हैं is just T4 medication. Sometimes they get T4 T3 combination, but it's just basically a T4 medication. All that is doing क्योंकि आपकी body उस T4 को मिल नहीं रहा उसको, क्योंकि आपकी body gluten interfere कर रही है. So what happens, the doctors have to give external T4 to make sure that the body doesn't shoot up TSH. But that's the science behind that. But like I said, if it has helped you, I would definitely give it a try. And again, to put it that way, if you are taking regular thyroid medication, that does have a lot of side effects, to put it this way. If that and the reason I'm telling you that, I'm just trying to motivate you to try to be gluten free, because if you could possibly, if you think gluten free works for you and possibly your thyroid medication either stops or at least the dosage decreases, that's a good benefit for you for having lesser side effects of the medication. So if it has helped, I would definitely give it a try. But it becomes a lifestyle change. Eat a lot of vegetables. Yes. You can have a little bit of white rice. That's okay. There's nothing absolutely against white rice. A little bit of white rice are fine. Corn tortillas taste actually very good. If you don't want to make it at home, there are really good healthy corn tortillas available very readily all over the stores wherever that you live. So get some corn tortillas, and I think corn ke jo roti hoti hai, they taste good with everything. So try that. Try corn tortillas. Try a little bit of white rice. You can try some quinoa, and it soon becomes a lifestyle. You really would not really miss rotis. And once in a while if you have it, oh well. But it would not be something that you miss. I would say give it a try. If it's worked for you, it's worth giving it a try so that your dosage of thyroid medication goes lower.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Rachna. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling, Nupur. Okay. So again, studio number 408-912-5565. 408-912-5565. आप सुन रहे हैं रचना को Rachna's Fitness Show पे. I do come every Wednesday between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I take your live calls about exercise, nutrition, weight loss, आपकी health के बारे में. And of course, if you're interested in getting in touch with me regarding any of our complete weight loss programs, whatever your goals are, let's say you have a special condition. I've worked with people with all different conditions. Let's say you've had a back injury or even thyroid condition. I've had people who've been plateauing for years, and they've come to me and lost a lot more weight just because, even though they were plateauing. So whatever your conditions are, I'll be happy to sit down with you, talk to you to see kya goals hai aapke, what are you looking to achieve, aapka lifestyle kya hai, do you work, are you home, do you have kids, whatever that your schedule is, and then kind of create something for you. Again, to mention, we have programs for men and women both. We also have programs for teenager kids. You can always come in and do a program as a couple together. Okay, so we have definitely a lot of different programs available. आप हमें contact कर सकते हैं. Mostly हमारे courses are like complete 3-month course where I think 3 months is a good amount of time where I can make you lose a lot of weight, make you healthy, and kind of get you addicted to living healthy. So you don't think that this is something you do or you have to do. This is something you like to do, right? जैसे कई लोगों को खाना अच्छा लगता है, but imagine आपको exercise करनी अच्छी लगे, आपको अच्छा लगे healthy खाना. For a lot of people, you might think, कैसे हो सकता है? खाने में जो मजा आता है वो exercise में कैसे आएगा? Trust me, that feeling of having good workout, it might not be while you're doing it, but right after you finish it, it's out of the world amazing. It's out of the world amazing. उससे जो आपको high feeling होगी, it's higher than anything. It's higher than anything else you would have ever tried. But that feeling actually goes the other way, right? आप बाहर खाना खाने जाते हैं, buffet करने जाते हैं, वो शुरू में खाने का तो शौक होता है, खाने के बाद उतना ही बुरा लगता है. Exercise से उल्टा होता है, शुरू में मजा आएगा, करते हुए में भी आप थक जाओगे, but बाद में जो feeling होगी, it's absolutely opposite the feeling what you would have after you had a buffet, because that's when you're feeling crappy about yourself. So again, if you're interested in a complete weight loss program with me, with I being your coach, you're definitely welcome to give me a call, 408-320-8111, 408-320-8111. You can also check out my website and get all the contact information. Check out my programs, rachnaradio.com, RACHNA, rachnaradio.com, or of course, through my Facebook page, facebook.com/Rachna Radio. Facebook pe jaake go find Rachna Radio, and that's another way to get in touch with me. Okay. And also, of course, you can always check out my YouTube page. I do have a YouTube channel. YouTube पे जाके go find Rachna's Wellness. आपको बहुत सारे videos मिलेंगे. मेरे cooking videos हैं, कई healthy recipe videos हैं. Of course, there are a lot of workout tip videos. So go check out my page on YouTube. YouTube पे जाके go find Rachna's Wellness. And please like my page, subscribe to my page. And of course, if there's something else you would want to watch, I'll be happy to record and shoot a video for that too. You're definitely welcome to give me suggestions on what you would like to watch. Okay. So again, YouTube pe go check out my page. YouTube pe jaake Rachna's Wellness. You will of course see me. I know you've been hearing me for so many years, so it's worth looking at. Kisko sun rahe ho? So go to check out my page on YouTube, Rachna's Wellness. Again, the best way to get in touch with me is through my phone, Facebook page, or just give me a call. Phone number is 408-320-8111, 408-320-8111, or again through my website, rachnaradio.com, or of course through my Facebook page. Facebook pe jaake go find Rachna Radio. That's another way to get in touch with me. Okay. So we were talking about let's see, where were we? I know we have got a bunch of calls. Again, I'll be still happy to take more calls. Our phone number है studio का 408-912-5565. To give a call right now, 408-912-5565. Okay, so I was talking about hydrogenated fats. I was talking about कि ये क्यों नहीं खाने चाहिए, shortening नहीं. You have to avoid as much shortening as you possibly can from all the whatnot. So why is shortening bad? Yes, that's what I was talking about. What was I talking about? So I was talking about why is shortening bad? Partially hydrogenated oils क्यों bad हैं? Trans fats क्यों bad हैं? Science है उसके पीछे बहुत आसान सी समझनी. First of all, like I said, the process of hydrogenation changes the molecular structure to something that's not normally found in nature, right? अब आपने एक एटम को लेके उसके एटम के लेट्स से उसके 2 हाइड्रोजन एटम से 3 थे, 2 थे, 1 था, जितना भी था, पर आपसे उसने एक और एक्स्ट्रा हाइड्रोजन एटम डाल दिया क्योंकि उसको सॉलिड करना है आपको रूम टेम्परेचर पे. बट दैट मॉलिक्यूल इटसेल्फ is not something that the body knows what it is, right? It's something that was created in a lab. It's not from nature. It's not coming from nature, right? So your body does not know what to do with it. It just, इसको ये मेरी अगली लाइन को बहुत ध्यान से सुनोगे आपको समझ आएगी बात. What it does, since your body does not know what it is, what to do with it, it just incorporates these trans fats into your cells. Because it doesn't know what to do, it doesn't know how to digest it. Normally when you eat fat, you'll either digest it or store it as fat, but the body does not know what to do with these trans fats. So it just incorporates these trans fats into your cells as if there's something it should recognize, essentially, which is partially hydrogenating your cells. So when you're incorporating these trans fats in your body doesn't know how to digest them. So it makes them a part of your cells. So that means it's going to partially hydrogenate your cells of the body. Now, everything in your cells and your body is going to go wonky. weird. And certain chemical reactions that normally take place or should not take place get disturbed because of this hydrogenation process of your body's cells. So I kind of made the explanation very clear, and I think I cannot get any clearer. So again, to reiterate, जब आपने इन cells को trans fat खाए, तो आपकी body doesn't know what to do with these cells because normally it's supposed to digest them, anything that is known in nature, but doesn't know how to digest these things. So it's going to incorporate them as a part of your cells of the body. Okay, when it incorporates them as a part of the cell of a body, it hydrogenates because your trans fats stay extra hydrogen. It actually hydrogenates your body cells. Okay, so everything is now in your body is going to go weird, haywire. Certain chemical reactions that normally take place get disturbed because of the hydrogenation process. So what can happen as a result of this haywire going cell disruption? Okay, trans fats of course have been linked. First of all, आपकी body का everything is changing. You know, जो process होने थे वो हो नहीं रहे हैं ढंग से. So trans fats of course have been linked to cancer, high blood levels of cholesterol, big time, hardening of the arteries, type 2 diabetes, obesity, stroke, immune system dysfunction, just to name a few. So now you tell me, do you still want to make your cookies with Crisco? Do you still want to give your kids those trans fat full snacks from the store? Just because, I don't know, yes, they're a little cheaper because Crisco is cheaper, but you still want to compromise your health, your kids' health, your family's health for something that is this bad for you? I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. There's a lot of alternatives, you know, make it a weekend thing, bake some cookies together at home, give them as a snack to your kids. There's a lot of healthy options. You just pick up something healthy from outside. It might be a little expensive, but it's totally worth it because it's about you and your kids' health, your family's health. So again, make sure, again, to reiterate, like I was telling the other called initially, you want to make sure that you're picking something with either butter in it. The ingredients should not say vegetable shortening in it. The ingredients should not say partially hydrogenated oils or trans fats in it, or just basic hydrogenated oils. All it should say is pure butter, coconut oil, sunflower, you know, some expeller pressed coconut oil or olive oil, or even sunflower oil for that purpose is fine. You know, so that's what the ingredients should be. Okay, let's see. Wanted to talk about 2017. I don't think I have enough time left for that, so I will we'll see how the time continues. So the next thing I actually wanted to also talk about is GMO. That's another thing. Since I'm telling you not to have, so what I'm doing today is telling you some things you should stop eating this year if you've been having them. So we talked about vegetable shortening. The next thing is especially GMO, but especially GMO corn. I just cannot stress how bad GMO corn is. पॉपकॉर्न जब खाते हो, रेगुलर पॉपकॉर्न जब मूवीज में जाके लेते हो, या पॉपकॉर्न बैग्स हम उठाते हैं बाजार से, हम अपने को बहुत हेल्दी समझते हैं कि हम सिर्फ पॉपकॉर्न खा रहे हैं, हमने बटर भी नहीं डलवाया उसके ऊपर. The people really consider them healthy. We just had butter free. I mean, it's good for you. It's a lot of fiber, but I'm not talking about calories. I'm not talking about fiber. I'm not talking anything. I'm just talking about that corn itself is genetically modified. I don't think there's something very interesting I found on Monsanto's website, which is the founder behind the GMO corn, which I will probably share with you today or the next time, is pretty interesting. You know, GMO corn को किस तरह से अपनी website पे advertise किया है. So you might want to go and check it out yourself. It's just amazing to read it. I was like cracking up saying, seriously, is that how they advertise GMO corn? But it was funny. So go to Monsanto's website. You'll find it yourself. But it's just a bad seed. The health risks of genetically modified corn could be anything. It could be anything, you know, from anything. Headaches, nausea, rashes, fatigue, whatever it is it takes. Okay. I have warned you of potential dangers of genetically modified foods for many years now, pointing out that such crops can have unforeseen circumstances. GMO, genetically modified organisms, को कहा जाता है. In recent years, such suspicions have increasingly proven correct. One of the latest pieces of evidence supporting the suspicion that GE crops are in no way or shape or any form comparable to their natural counterpart, which is that comes in nature, is a nutrition analysis. In fact, that's pretty cool. I'm going to, maybe I should put this on my website too. But one of the latest pieces of evidence showing the suspicion that GE crops are in no way, shape or form come closer to the natural, not genetically modified crop is a basic nutrition analysis shows that how different they really are. Okay. So let me give you this a very simple, thing. Calcium. Okay. Calcium in a GMO corn is 14 parts per million. Okay. Calcium in GMO corn is 14 parts per million versus non-GMO corn is 6,130 parts per million. which is just about 437 times more. So calcium in a GMO corn is 14 parts per million. Calcium in a non-GMO corn is 6,130 times parts per million. Magnesium in a GMO corn is 2 parts per million. Non-GMO corn is 113 parts per million. Manganese is GMO corn में is 2 parts per million. Non-GMO is 14 parts per million. GMO corn is also found to have 13 parts per million of glyphosate. And not to talk too much about glyphosate, but glyphosate is the thing that जो spray किया जाता है insecticides पे, herbicides or whatnot, insecticides के form, pesticides के form में. It's just bad, very bad. All I can say is that don't want to spend too much time with that. Of course, non-GMO corn has 0. Okay, this is quite significant and worth remembering. Okay, glyphosate जो होता है American water supplies में कहा जाता है 0.7 parts per million है, उसको safe कहा जाता है. So environment protection safe level को glyphosate का American water में रखा है 0.7 parts per million. In Europe, the maximum allowable level in water is 0.2 parts per million. So America में पहले से high है. Organ damage in animals has occurred at as low as levels as 0.1 parts per million. Okay. So organ जो damage है, again, all I'm saying is that, again, I'm just giving you suggestions here. You can, of course, go read yourself. Again, my point is to give you information. You can always go do your own research. But again, all the information I'm giving you is something that I would apply to my own family. Okay. So again, organ damage in animals has occurred at levels as 0.1 parts per million. At 13 parts per million, GMO corn has 13 parts per million glyphosate. It contains 18 times more than the safe levels of glyphosate set by the EPA. Okay, 18 times more. That's pretty high. That's extremely very high. This is truly disturbing. In fact, let me share you something very interesting. Argentina में, okay, in the country Argentina, glyphosate is blamed or has been blamed for actually many years now for a dramatic increase in the devastating birth defects as well as cancer. वहाँ पे अभी बात हो गई है अर्जेंटीना में. In fact, you can go research yourself. Argentina में glyphosate is blamed for dramatic increase in devastating birth defects as well as cancer. Sterility, miscarriages are also increasing. Okay, because the GMO can produce a lot of reproductive problems among many other things. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bunch of ideas. I probably might not have time today, but I'm going to give you exactly what to do. अभी सिर्फ corn की बात होती है तो हम सोचते हैं कि बस अब corn organic house. I mean, it's hiding in so many different things, but it is not that hard. It is not that hard. Once you get 5 or 6 points down, understand, and it's not so hard to avoid, GMO corn. It's just not, Another level. In fact, another thing I wanted to mention, a lot of people have heard about formaldehyde, right? Formaldehyde is bad for you. Every way it's bad for you. So we all know that formaldehyde is bad for you, right? So an additional disturbing piece of the information that GMO corn contains extremely high levels of formaldehyde. Many studies have found that 0.97 parts per million of ingested formaldehyde was toxic in animals. Just 0.97 parts per million, okay, of ingested formaldehyde, that is less than 0.1 parts per million, was toxic to animals. GMO corn contains a staggering 200 times parts per million of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is extremely high, glyphosate is extremely high, nutrients are extremely low, and that is what it is. And now let me put it very clearly what Monsanto advertises on the website as GMO corn is. It's funny, go read it yourself, but it says environmental benefits of GMO corn, growing sweet corn a better way. Seriously? Good tasting, grown a better way. That's what it says. That's what it's going to get to. It has built-in pest control. That's how they advertise. So it's a built-in pest control. It's for especially farmers who don't want to go put pesticides all the time because they live far away. They want to spend. So what they've done in the seed, they have built the pest control in the seed. अब pest control का मतलब होता है pests को मारना. वो seed में बना दिया. हम भी तो खा रहे हैं उसको. So are we eating the pesticide? Yes, we are. अब वो pest को मार सकता है तो हमें क्या कर रहा होगा? I'm going to leave that over there and, of course, talk quite a bit more detail on how to avoid all these things in our next show, next Wednesday. We're just about, getting close to wrapping our show here. So again, आप सुन रहे हैं, of course, सुन रहे थे Rachna को Rachna's Fitness Show पे. I will definitely be here next Wednesday. But I do come every Wednesday between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We do take your live calls. आप हमारा show अगर radio पे नहीं सुन सकते हैं, we also do a live broadcast of all of my shows on YouTube. So YouTube पे जाके अगर आप सीधा just go on YouTube and go to Rachna's Wellness, आप हमारा live broadcast सुन सकते हैं. But if you miss it, we also have all of our recorded programs, say for the last some months now, I've been saving on my YouTube page. So just go to your YouTube, find Rachna's Wellness. You can listen to my live show. Or if you miss it, you want to listen to it later again, or you just heard a part of it, listen all of it, you can just go to my YouTube page and listen to the complete show. That will be available for you to listen on my YouTube page. So again, to get in touch with me, to get registered, complete weight loss programs, you're definitely welcome to give me a call, 408-320-8111. We have complete weight loss programs that will, of course, make sure that you lose weight, get fit in 2017, whatever it takes. I will be a coach myself, guiding you, coaching you, working out with you, designing meal plans for you. So again, to get registered, give me a call, 408-320-8111. Again, 408-320-8111, or you can always visit my website, rachnaradio.com, RACHNA, rachnaradio.com. We do have a complete 3-month weight loss program, starts on February 8th. So again, get registered, give me a call, 408-320-8111. I'll again be here next Wednesday. Till then, keep fit and keep working out.